Hey, what up, y'all? How y'all doing? Okay, so I just want to talk briefly with y'all real quick. I want y'all to leave y'all comments. I want this to be a discussion. I want your input, most definitely. So, feel free to leave whatever kind of comment you feel. If you hate me for what I'm about to say, if you agree, I don't care. You know what I mean? Let's make this a conversation. So, me personally, I'm a multitude mixed of many things, but mainly it's black and Hispanic. And so I grew up in a household with my mom's side of the family, which was black, but my city that I grew up in was majority it was majority Hispanic or white. So I come from like a middle class home. But then that was my young life to 17, and then from 17 to like 27 or 8 or something like that. I chose to move, and I lived in a more impoverished community, which was surrounded with a lot of mainly black. And then it started growing. It started becoming like black and Hispanic, but a lot more black. And so that's where I just say that to give where my perspective is coming from. So I've been scrolling through social media lately, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And I'm usually not on that stuff like that. I just was bored, so I was just scrolling through it. I've been seeing a lot of videos, you know what I'm saying, basically showing hate, hating on the white man, hating on even those who are in the wrong with what they do and their comments and what they're doing. It's just a lot of spotlight being put on it. And I feel us as the people, even if they're doing or saying something wrong, how about, because we're the ones with the power. The president's not the one with the power. You know what I mean? The politicians and all, they're not the ones with the true power, at least. We the people, we're the ones with the power. And it's like, I'm pretty sure we know this. But is it that we forget this? Is it that we feel that we have to always open our mouths? Or, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But all I know is this. Why don't we just try something different? Like ignoring it. Or not ignoring it, excuse me, but ignoring them. Putting a silent button on it instead. If President Trump wants to act a fool, you know what I mean? Or if a politician want to act a fool and they want to be racist and whatever, how about instead we don't even share that video? We don't even pass it around. We shrug it off like we do anything else in life, you know what I mean? We just toss it in the trash and forget about it. Yes, take a moment to soak it in, know that it's real, that it happened, but don't feed into it. I mean, because from my understanding, the way the media works is bad publicity is good publicity. Good publicity, it keeps it relevant, keeps the conversation going, and it just continues to feed a negative fire. You're fueling a negative fire. Let's fuel positive fires. You know what I mean? Things that are positive. And also, us as a people of color, regardless if you're black, Hispanic, whatever, people of color, let's stop victimizing ourselves. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably speaking very blindly and whatnot. I haven't took the time to really stay on what's politically going on and all that, because I'm not into all that stuff. But I just felt, I don't know, to touch bases and talk a little bit on something that really bothered me. That I feel that we as a people, instead of complaining, instead of finding reasons to use, for whatever the reason is, I don't care personally, finding a reason to basically point the finger at somebody, instead of doing that, let's use that as motivation, determination, you know what I mean? Let's use it as something that pushes us every day, that wakes us up early in the morning, gets us up going and figuring out, okay, well, that bothered me. That pissed me off. That made me angry. How are we now going to move past that, overcome it, and build upon it? You get what I'm saying? How are we going to use it to become positive? And, you know, skip in the eyes of society, but just in self. How are you going to be pleased in yourself? How are you going to take something so negative or something horrible, I mean, you know, that happened? How are you going to take that? How are you going to apply that to your life to allow it to fuel you to do something, say something, you know, I don't know, create something, a business, invent something? I mean, that's positive, that's productive. You know, then think about that. If you use that negative to fuel you to do something great positively, then after you have created something positive, something for your people, you know what I'm saying, that really is going to really matter, then maybe you can go back and talk about that negative. But you'll be able to talk about that negative in a positive perspective. Meaning as in, you'll be able to use that negative and use it as a demonstration of how it fueled you of how to either write that book or start that business or invent that, whatever the case may be. I don't know. All I'm saying is our perspectives need to change in a lot of ways, and we need to stop, as people, stop trying to victimize ourselves, stop trying to victimize our culture. Yes, we had to go through slavery, hardships, you know what I mean, and whatever other crazy things that we've had to go, not even we had to go through, but our cultural, historical bloodline, you know, they had to go through. We didn't have to go through nothing compared to them. They had to go through. And don't get me wrong, yes, nowadays there's still racism, but it ain't nothing compared to what our fifth grades plus had to go through. They had to go through some crazy stuff. So we have the tools, we have the opportunities to be right in the same places as these people that we bashing and all that. It's just that, you know, we have to take the blinders off. We have to stop living in a bubble. And, you know, and we have to be willing to stop turning a blind eye. That's real. We have to learn. We need to relearn how to be, you know, human beings towards one another. You know what I mean? Showing human kindness, showing love. We got to stop turning that blind eye. And that's in all aspects of life. That's just in your everyday, you know what I mean? Guys, if you're on a bus or if you in a building, you see, you know what I'm saying, a woman, she's standing up, get your ass up and let her sit down. You know what I mean? Open the door for her. I don't care nothing about this. What's this new thing going on about, you know, I don't know if it's sexism or, you know what I'm saying, like how a woman might not define herself as a woman. Let me put it like this. You was born with breasts. You look like a woman. You are a woman. If you look like a man, you are a man. Get over it. That's facts. I'm sorry if I offended some people, but too bad. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Get over all that extra stuff, but I don't know. I'm rambling right now. But back to what I was saying. Us as a community, we just need to come together for real, in a positive way. Sometimes the best killer is a silent one. So if you really want to kill a problem, sometimes it's not the loudest or the noisiest. Sometimes it's the quietest. Anyways, anybody watches this? Hey, I appreciate y'all watching it, you know? Leave your comments or whatever. This is just kind of like random, on the spot. I work graveyard, so, you know, you get bored real easy. Or, if you didn't like it, please leave your comments. Tell me why you didn't like the video. If you agree, don't agree, Everybody has an opinion. And this is my opinion. Black people, Hispanic people, people who are not white, okay? Even the white people who support us, love you, I appreciate y'all. But the people who are not of white color or come from, of white skin, let's start from now on putting, being aware of what's going on, hearing it, seeing it, soaking it in, knowing that it's real. But let's not fuel the fire. Let's let it just die down. And let's use it to fuel our own fire. You know what I mean? To let that negative become a positive. And we produce that positive. And then we can go back and have that conversation about the negative. But because of the negative, now it would have produced the positive. Because we would change our perspective on how to receive that negative and how to react on that negative. I don't know. 11 minutes of just talking. Deuces. Dose.